Hello everyone, it is 2026 and I am back playing Planet Zoo. I am so excited. So right away I'm going to show you what I am planning on building. It probably won't be following this super closely, but that is the plan. Now, I decided to come back to Planet Zoo after 4 years of not playing because I just missed the game and Planet Zoo 2 has been announced, and I am just so excited. So I thought, let's get back into the game, let's relearn everything, and I want to build a zoo with every single animal. So that is another thing that we're going to try to do in this zoo. I want to make things as realistic as possible, but I don't want to use 100 pieces because my computer is struggling. It's bad. I might need a new computer before this zoo is done, but we'll see. But yeah, I am really looking forward to this. I am super excited, and I hope you guys are excited as well. I'm going to be giving a lot of tips and tricks, and yeah, we're just going to be speed building. Today we are doing the entrance area, and we are adding in some flamingos. And if I want to get all of the animals in, I will need to be mixing some animals that might not have the interspecies bonus with each other. So like today we are going to be adding in the greater flamingo, the greater rhea, I think that's how you pronounce it. I didn't look that up, I should have. And the American flamingo. Now, none of these get interspecies bonuses with each other, but they are all similar-ish. So I wanted to put them all in the same enclosure. Sorry, I have a cold and I'm struggling, but I wanted to get this recording done because I feel fine other than my nose. And yeah. But yeah, so we're just working on the entrance building right now. It is going to be pretty basic, honestly. But toward the end, we'll be adding in the scenery towards the end, and I think that really helps it just feel more realistic. And I'm going with a pretty basic building here. I don't think any building needs to be above and beyond. I mean, let me know if you think I'm wrong, but yeah. So I am trying to pre-plan everything in this zoo. I am planning out, as you saw, I planned out the entrance building. I have a general map idea, which I will share later once we are done with the entrance building. I'm not sure how closely we'll be actually sticking to it, but I do plan on updating it as we go. But in the entrance building, I did want to have a couple of things. I wanted to have, of course, the info centers. I wanted to have in 2 exhibit animals because that is a good way to get in some more animals, and a great way to start bringing some funds and guests into the zoo. I didn't mention we are playing on franchise. I typically only play on franchise because there's something wrong with me, and yeah. We're playing franchise hard mode. That's all I play. I'm sorry if you prefer sandbox. I just prefer franchise, so. But yeah, I wanted to have exhibit. We needed a restroom, and then I wanted 1 food and 1 drink, because that will service the whole zoo for a little while. I will be adding in a food and drink little place soon, but not quite yet. I wanted to have a little bit of an outdoor picnic area as well. So we went ahead and added that in here. And yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end of the entrance build. You can see I left the inside pretty plain. I don't want to risk my computer, failing because I have too many pieces in the decorations of the entrance building, which we are hardly going to be seeing the inside of. So that is why I kind of left it like that. I might go back later and add in just a couple of signs and stuff, but right now that is kind of where we are leaving it. I wanted to add in this little bit of a roof there. The rest of the roof is going to be flat, but I wanted a little bit of a pitched roof just for some, flair, if you will say so. So now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I have a finished zoo in all of my franchise mode. So I am going to really stick to finishing this zoo. Hopefully I'll be able to. Y'all keep me accountable. Please make sure I finish it because I really, really want to. I think it'd be really cool to actually have a finished zoo. And yeah, I mean, you guys all deserve a full YouTube series. But yeah, we're 4 years in the future. I think we can do it. I think we can stay focused enough to build a full zoo. So as long as the computer doesn't crash, we're good. We're golden. Now we're just adding a little bit more inside the building, just adding some benches and some education areas. I just wanted the entrance building to be more of like a hub where if you're meeting people there, you can wait by the education boards and wait for your party. It's a good place just to rest, get excited for the trip, refuel before you start walking the zoo, and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy with how the layout of the entrance is. Definitely leave me feedback if you want to see anything. Usually I try to do an elevated building. I thought about that, but I did not want to go back and raise the paths just a little bit. So the animals we are getting in are the lesser iguana and the green iguana. I know I messed one of those names up. I can't quite remember, but yeah, I wanted those iguanas in. They had the higher appeal rating than the frogs that I was looking at. And the reason I am saying iguanas or frogs is because we are in North America grasslands, and I always like to try to choose an animal that is somewhat from that region. So that is kind of why I picked that. And also that appeal rating was a lot higher, which just will mean more guests in the park, which is very important early on. Now, I do have a guest limit of 6,000 per the park. I think it'll be quite a while before we hit that limit. And then I have the animal agent on 4 times. I did want to play a little bit there. We still have $10,000 to play with from the starting funds, but I want to make sure we are not losing money, and this park would sustain itself with this amount of animals and attractions. Here is that map that I was telling you about earlier. Definitely go back and pause if you want to see it a little bit closer, but it's a rough map because we are already going off key. This was supposed to be like a T interchange or a T junction, and it's not. We are putting the flamingos in right where the crossing should be, but I just feel like this makes the park flow so much better. And just because we're trying to get every single animal in, I wanted to make sure we don't use too much space for this enclosure. So I did shrink it down to about 3,000 meters squared for the whole area. And I'm going to be trying to do as few barriers as possible. So we will be using a lot of natural barriers, or like rocks and just different terrain editing. So that is what we're doing here. We're just lowering that terrain, and that is going to act as a natural border. And then later I will be adding in some rocks and other vegetation around the area so that it will flow better and it won't look like just a random hole in the ground. But we don't have money to do all of that work right away, so we're going to be starting slow. And yeah, so because this is flamingos, they need quite a bit of water. I wanted to add in that little bit of deeper water closer to the path there. I think it turns out pretty good. I genuinely like this path or this enclosure quite a bit. I think it turns out really good. Definitely is a slow process and slow progress in franchise. If you watch the time on the bottom, you'll notice that I played like 5 years trying to save up a little bit of money and making sure the animals are happy and everything. Don't worry, you didn't miss too much. I'm mainly going to be building in these series and not so much management. If you want more management, definitely let me know and I can record some management. But right now I'm just going to be focusing on the building and giving tips and tricks on how to make your parks look more realistic without using a ton of pieces and taking a ton of your time. I think in total this park has taken me an hour and a half so far, maybe 2 hours with planning and everything, but I am more familiar with the controls. I mean, I haven't played in a couple of years, but it's all pretty ingrained in me because I have so many hours into this game. But if you are kind of in a similar boat, it won't take you too terribly long to get back that the controls and everything like that. So one thing you will see in most zoos in real life is every animal will have basically a concrete cave or house, and so I want to incorporate as many of those as possible. So this is what we're doing for the flamingos. I will dress it up. I kind of want it to be kind of like a hill with rocks around it, like kind of a mountain, which we'll add the rocks later. I just didn't want to spend too much money on decorations and forget about the animals. So we will definitely be doing that this video, don't worry. And yeah, so here we are just getting the path in. I wanted to also include a keeper hut near that entrance because I feel like this is going to be quite a ways away from the other keeper huts, so I just wanted to be safe and have a keeper hut right there. And here is where I checked the map and realized, oh wow, I'm already off plan, but that's okay. We are doing what we can with what we have, and making the park look good and feel good at the same time. Here we are starting to plan out the other areas and directions that the path is going to go. Here we are doing, we're kind of improvising that little intersection. So we'll just have the guests go around the flamingos instead of through the flamingos. And yeah, now I did want to have a bunch of well, I wasn't going to, but then I needed to add in the water treatment and the water heater and a generator, because we are too far away from the entrance now to already have that for the barricade. So we needed to add that, and I will be incorporating that into the mountain, just not in this video because unfortunately we ran out of money, but I think in a couple of videos we will come back to this area and really just give it all of the love that it needs for the finishing touches of this area. One thing I want to do with this series is really try to finish areas and not leave them super untouched, because that is typically what I do, and then I lose motivation because I have a lot of touch-ups to do. So the least amount of that we could do, the better. Always double check where are your animals able to escape from. I'm super glad I did that before they started to escape, but I unfortunately forgot to do that for the baby animals. But so I had to go back and fix that, but that is not in this recording because that is more of a management issue and not so much a building fun issue. But yeah, we are about to go into the decorating, so that is going to be fun. I'm going to let you guys just kind of watch the rest of this video. I do want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. I will also be doing some tips and tricks short tutorials. If you want to see anything in 2026, definitely let me know. I'd be happy to make it. Things I have planned are I'm going to redo my waterfall tutorial. I'm going to do a underground viewing and an underground tunnel, and I want to do tips and tricks on nature and just all of like the vegetation, and yeah, just to give tips and tricks on how to make your parks feel and look more realistic without using a ton of resources. But yeah, if you have any ideas, please send them my way. I'm not sure how frequently I will be posting videos, but they will be more frequently than 4 years. I promise that. I am looking forward to finishing the zoo, so I hope you guys are as well. Let me know what animals you guys are excited to see and which direction you want to start going on the map. I already have an idea for the next video. I haven't started building it yet, but I actually am planning on starting to build it either today or tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm going to leave you guys with some music for the rest of the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!